Okay. What makes you feel the most vulnerable?
That is a heavy one. I think for me, what makes me feel the most vulnerable is just sharing my heart with people and talking about things that mean a lot to me and that I care about. I think it's hard to be really open and just honest with anybody and share your truths and your fears. But I notice anytime I do that, I those form the best connections and the best relationships, and we have the best conversations. So I know it can be hard to be vulnerable, but I feel like the best things come to me when I am open.
Okay. Hi. Such an abrasive beginning. Okay, hi. I'm back. This is my first episode of this shoot week, so I'm warming up. But I'm excited and always grateful for the opportunity to sit here and hang out with friends and connect and feel better. So looking forward to that. Um, what's been going on with me lately? I have been doing a whole lot of just like what the hell is actually happening. A lot of that kind of thinking. I don't know about any of you, but I feel like on like an abnormal level, I tend to wake up and like literally think to myself like, what is this world and why are we here and what is the point? I don't know if other people have such light and pleasant thoughts every morning, but I've been having a lot of that lately, and it's not even like super like depressive. It's just like very existential and like yeah, thinking about all of that, which I think is also natural when there's so much happening in our world and all of the headlines. I hope all of you are surviving because it's been a lot and I know we're all exhausted. Um, and that's why I'm so grateful to be able to sit here and do this, because it's such a nice, healthy distraction. Today, I'm very excited because, well, I'm always excited. I always feel silly saying that because I'm like, I'm excited. I really am, though. I'm having Aliyah on, who um, is just such a beautiful person. She and I met, gosh, probably a couple years ago now, because she was one of the first people that I actually talked to about helping me out with the podcast production. And she came on and we did like some trial shoots and we spent some time together, and it was really nice to get to know her. And it didn't end up working out exactly how we wanted, and you know, her career goals went in different directions and the podcast kind of shifted and went in a different direction, but the universe brought us back together. And more lately, she has been helping me with the Beauty Manifest social media. And it has just been so nice to have someone to take that off my shoulders a little bit so I can be a little bit more focused in on the behind the scenes of the podcast and strategy and guests and all of that good stuff. But in addition to the beautiful work that she does for the Beauty Manifest social media, she is also a host. She does a lot of sports hosting, which I think is so cool. And I'm very curious to ask her about in this episode how she kind of moved into that space. She is so passionate about the beauty space, which is why she's kind of come into my orbit. And she's exploring that as well. But she just has so much to share. I think personally, I was texting her last night and I was like, I'm just excited to get to know you a little bit better through this episode, because we've been working together on and off, but we haven't really had a chance to like properly sit down and like really get to know each other. So this episode will be that in live time. um, and I'm excited to hear kind of like someone who is really interested in the beauty industry, to hear kind of like an outside perspective of what she thinks of it, how it relates to our self image and mental health. Like, I think those of us who are a little bit in the beauty bubble, granted, I think she also is to a certain extent, but like fully in it and have been in it for so long, we tend to get a little jaded and have a different perspective from an outsider. So that'll be interesting too. But yeah, I will jump in. She's actually here outside, and I asked her to wait so we could finish the intro. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll jump in with her after we have a little juice and avocado toast. So we'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. Hi.
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 Finally. It's been long enough. Hi.
I'm so happy. Sorry, my hands are cold.
You're good.
I'm so happy to be doing this. I gushed a little bit about you in the intro. I was also like kind of waking up, so I don't really remember what I said. If I'm completely honest, I have only had like one sip of my matcha. But I was gushing about you a little bit already, and I spoke to the fact that you're starting to dip your toe in a bigger way into the beauty industry space. And it's always been a passion of yours. But up until now, you've been this incredible sports host, and you have this whole other career. Yeah. But when I look at you and I talk to you, I'm like, you're always doing so many things. Like we were just talking about how you're like a TikTok live host, and you're helping me with the social media for the Beauty Manifest. Like, my God, woman. My point is, I would love for you to kind of tell everyone a little bit about yourself, what you do in your own words, because I couldn't capture all of it.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I love that. This makes me nervous, honestly.
Really?
I'm like, well, yeah.
Girl, you're like I feel like you've filmed more podcasts than I have.
Well, no, but that's what I was going to say. It's like I feel so comfortable asking the questions than answering the questions sometimes.
Yes,
it throws me off sometimes.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, you want to know
I am
about
so
me?
much more comfortable here than there.
Of asking the questions too?
I'm way more comfortable asking the questions because it's not about you then. You just get to be curious.
Exactly. You just get to be curious. Yeah. I love finding out about people. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute. But
this is like much like when I go speak on a panel or I go guest on a podcast, I get nervous. Also, I guess it's like not my platform, you know, like we're in my living room, so
true.
I'm pretty comfortable. I want you to be too, but I totally understand.
Guys, I'm feeling so comfortable. So wait, should I look at more at, I guess at Olive, I should look at you.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, mostly.
I'm like, okay, guys. Hey.
Mostly we're looking at each other, but if you want to make contact with our peeps out there,
I'm like, y'all.
Sometimes I'm like,
okay, that's the answer. I'm like, so you guys.
For a moment, you know?
Okay, so I'm Aliyah, obviously. Okay, guys. Well, yeah, I'm a TV host. I've been a TV host for about 4 years now. That's what I first really got in. This has always been like a passion of mine. I always wanted to do something like in the entertainment field, and like I love speaking and I love connecting with people, but I didn't really know what that was going to be. So I moved out here for college when I was 19. I was at the COVID class, y'all.
Oh, man,
I didn't get to graduate. I didn't get to walk still. I still have never had a graduation ceremony. And I didn't have my first freshman year of college. So I got here kind of already on a late start. And I always thought I was going to do something like behind the scenes more for the entertainment field, because I honestly never thought I was actually like going to put myself out there. Like that takes a lot of guts, y'all. But
same girl.
Yeah, I was really miserable when I first moved out here, and I was super lonely. So I thought I was going to move back home at first. But I'm honestly
LA will
happy.
do that to you the first time around. I didn't make it the first time. The second time is when it stuck.
See? Yeah, I know. I was like calling my parents. I was like, I'm coming back. They were just like, try it for a little bit longer. But I'm honestly thankful I sat in that uncomfort, because I feel like that's what actually made me go after my dreams. Is like I had nothing else to do, honestly, and I didn't really have any friends. And that's really different for me because I grew up in like a super small town. It's called Vacaville, y'all. It stands for Cowtown. Shout out Vacaville. Actually, it's so funny because I'll get in that story later, but Vacaville is always what ends up getting me the job for some weird reason. I'm like, people love the little small town vibe.
Love that.
And I'm like, oh, really? Little Vacaville's on the map. But yeah, so I just start putting myself out there. I ran into this lady. She was like a host in New York, but she was in LA doing a photo shoot, and I went up to her and I asked her like how she got into everything. I got her Instagram, and I just told her, I was like, I'm open to intern for anybody. I just want to get some experience under my belt.
Figure out what you want to do.
Yeah. So she gave me this connect to 2 of these hosts in LA, and I was doing their social media for them when I first. Yeah,
so this is not your first rodeo? This is what I'm talking about. Aliyah is so busy. And she's been so graciously helping me that like we haven't even had a chance to like really unpack your experience and all of this. I had no idea that you've basically done the same thing for
Yeah. That's how I started. I feel like that's really a great chance for you to learn. And I always tell people that, like, you have to be willing to just go
Yeah.
into it and like take jobs with that are internships or like
Yeah.
no money, because that's really how you're going to learn and grow, and that's really how you get your experience. So I'm always like open and eager to do anything and jump on something that could help me grow, even if like the payment or this or that isn't there at the beginning, because I always believe in it. But it was great because I was there doing their social media, but then I saw all these other people that were like my age on the red carpet doing stuff. And I was like, what is this world? Like, literally, what is this? I was just so like starstruck of LA. This is what I like imagined.
Yeah.
But then I met this girl and she had around like about the same following of me on Instagram, and she was trying to be an actress. And it just made me realize of like, wait, if she could do this, like, also why can't I just try? Like,
Sure.
and I think it was a lot easier being able to step out of my comfort zone, not having like my family and friends to, I guess, comment on what I was doing and all this. And it made me realize that's why I grew up so much too, of like actually leaving my comfort zone and what I've been told this whole time, and being like, okay, I know I'm gonna look cringy for a second and everybody's gonna be like, why does she think she moved to LA?
Girl, I went
And
through that
she's-
too.
Yeah.
Like when I was starting to like post to my social media and starting to move out from behind the camera, you have to fake it till you make it on social media. That's the way you build your platform. And you just
Exactly.
have to basically, like, I just was posting like I was the content creator I wanted to be.
Exactly.
And I'm sure plenty of my friends and stuff were kind of like, who does she think she is? Or what is she doing? But it worked.
See, it works. That's why you just have to
Yeah.
just like sit in that like uncomfortable
Yeah.
position for a second. But yeah, it just really inspired me, like seeing all the young people kind of chasing after their dreams and just trying. I was like, you know what? I should try. I have like nothing
Good for you.
better to do. Let me just try. So
yeah.
I hired a publicist back all the way in 2021 or 2022. I don't even know when I moved out here at this point, because my
don't
journey's
know
been
either.
crazy. But yeah, I started working with a publicist and just going to like different events to like network and really just get my name out there. But it was funny because at the time, like when I would go to the carpets, they'd be like, what are you? Like, you know, like, are you an actress? Are you a host? Are you
You're like, I'm figuring it
I was
out.
like, I don't know. And exactly. I'm
You could ask
figuring
me
it out.
that now, and I still don't have an answer for
See?
you.
Yeah. So that's, I'm like,
What are you? Gosh.
Literally, I was like, but I was really going down like the acting realm when I first got here. Like I was really submitting to auditions
Okay.
to be an actress and stuff, and I still really like acting.
Yeah.
But I always thought I was like late in the game, because like I feel like a lot of people are like child actors and stuff, and I was like starting at 19. But my coach and stuff, I just really invested in my craft, is what I guess I'm trying to say. Like I got a acting coach, I got a publicist at the time, and I was working at Chick-fil-A. Like I was just trying to make something happen.
I mean, this is something that I've just picked up about you without even knowing you that well, but knowing you for a couple years now through some distance and having some touch points. Like the one thing I have picked up about you very clearly is that you hustle. Like you're doing
Yes.
a lot of things. You're willing to do the work. You're willing to try things. I mean, even just you coming to me and being like, I want to explore the beauty space more. Like, I just think you're such a self-starter. And
Thank
that's
you.
really, really hard for people. Like, what an incredible skill to have, and good for you, because, I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's
no,
hard
it
to
is,
be able to
yeah.
just be like, yeah, I'm just going to do that thing. And
Yeah.
I think we spend so much of our life sometimes in limbo thinking about whether or not we're going to take the step. And it's people like you who take the step and then share that inspire others. And I think that's like what's so beautiful about social media and being a host or being a public persona, is like how you inspire people more than the work itself, you know?
No, completely. And that's what it's always been about. I'm like, I know that that's like my mission regardless of what I'm doing. That's why I'm so happy I fell into hosting. Of like, I really didn't see myself doing that. And it's crazy because actually LA Fashion Week, that's where I met Natasha too.
Yeah.
But me and my boyfriend
Yeah,
always
so I
laugh
met-
about it.
So everyone knows, I met Aliyah through Natasha Moore, who was my co-host on the Beauty Manifest when we first started.
Yeah.
And she was actually who brought you on to, because I mentioned in the intro that you were potentially going to help us with production, so on and so forth. So you met Natasha at Fashion Week.
Yes. And it's so funny because me and my boyfriend always laugh about it. But that's why you guys, you have to go to the events, because it's so crazy that one event can literally change your whole life. And it's
Oh,
like,
you just gave me the chills.
oh, I love it when I
Literally
get the
the
chills.
chills.
Literally.
I mean, it sounds silly, but it's true.
It's so true.
It's so true.
And it's so funny because like in my story now that I'm like 4 years into it, it always comes back to LA Fashion Week. I'm like, we like laugh about it all the time because like even the sports thing that I'm in now, that all came back to LA Fashion
Because you
Week.
told
And I'm
me
like,
the way you got into sports hosting was kind of like you just met one person, right?
yes. Like,
And that one person kind of pulled you into it. And now like you are like the sports host for WWE. Sorry, I don't talk sports. I watch all of your content and you look amazing, but I can't speak sports.
no, but I honestly couldn't speak much sports before.
Really?
Yeah, no.
You weren't a fan?
Okay, I know everyone, you guys. I was.
Oh, like, I'm gonna have like haters come out. I don't think the sports people are watching this podcast, so I think you're safe.
I know, but I'm kind of open and honest about it. Of like, I cover boxing, but I always like growing up. My family loved boxing, of like my tios and stuff, and even my grandpa has a sports bar, and there's Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather.
Oh my god, amazing!
So
well, that's also very cultural, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. I grew up seeing it a lot and like seeing that it brings people together, makes people really rowdy, and I loved that. But like, was I sitting on the couch and like, oh my god, no, that was not me.
So they're real fighting.
Oh, they're like fighting.
They're
like,
real fighting.
Oh, they're full on boxing.
I know, I know you were raised around it, but I have such a hard time watching the real fighting.
I have such a hard.
You do?
It's so hard for me, and now it's even harder for me. No, literally. Of like now when I interview them and I'm actually sitting.
Oh my god!
there
And you get to know them, and then you see them get like socked in the face, and you're just like,
knocked
poor baby.
out. Like there's this little guy. He was only on his second professional fight. He was so excited. His whole family was there.
That's an emotional roller coaster.
I supported him. He got in there second time in the ring. He got knocked out cold, and like a viral knockout of like sometimes you get like knocked out. The judge stops it. Sometimes it looks like a cartoon of like you literally get knocked out, and it broke my heart because I was like, he was so eager at the start of his career, and he's so embarrassed, I bet. And like it's so hard to see, but that's why I give it to them, because they have to find that to get back up and try again. So that's why I'm like, honestly, the boxers have all inspired me so much, because obviously my career has been like
You're doing
so
the same
up
thing.
and down.
We're all doing the same thing.
I mean, like, you got to.
I guess they might not like me comparing it to that.
I'm like, I know, I'm not gonna talk in the face, but still, it's
I don't even know one of their names, but so and so comes up to me and it's just like, you think being a beauty director is?
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, back to my little LA thing.
Yeah.
So I went to LA Fashion Week and I met all of these people. I met Natasha, like I said. I met my boyfriend now, who he was a photographer, so he's helped me a lot on my journey. Jason, yeah, he's filmed on my podcast for me. He'll come to carpets with me. He does a lot of great things for me. But
I mean, some of the most successful content creators and hosts have a partner who's a photographer. Like that's such a common scenario.
See, I'm like, it was perfect. But I also met this guy, y'all. This guy he's funny, Melinda. I'm like, well, just because I feel like first moving to LA, I had no idea that like there's obviously levels to this. So like when someone tells you they're a director,
okay, yes,
there's different levels to being a director.
A director in a garage or a director in a studio.
Okay,
or a
exactly.
Director at Warner Brothers.
Exactly. And I was just like, director.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
So, Mom, a director wants me. Like, so excited. I was a little girl too that like I always was asking my mom for like Christmas and my birthday, like, can you please get me an agent? And she's like, that's not even how it works. Like,
I die. Little Aliyah, can I have an agent for Christmas?
Yes.
You knew what an agent was?
Yes, I was.
Girl, you were made for this.
Yes, I've always wanted to. So that's why now that I have an agent, I'm like,
I'm
Mom,
happy. See, this is a conversation I've been wanting to have with you, because I was so curious, or this is part of the conversation I've been wanting. I was so curious if hosting and being in front of the camera is something that like you're still feeling like is number one, like priority. Because like when we chatted about some of the things that you wanted to explore within the beauty space, which makes sense because you kind of want to learn a little bit about everything. From my experience, that's helped me so much.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if you were thinking about moving into a different realm. So you still want to be like kind of like front facing in it.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
But what's nice is now
I mean, you certainly seem like you're cut out for it. Like you were made for it. No, truly, you're very charismatic and easy and comfortable. And like I watch all your videos. For you to be able to not be that into sports or even like really and then jump into that scenario and stand up against all of these like huge men and like interview them, like that's so.
Thank you.
I don't know. I interact with straight men like twice a year.
Wait, no, that's so funny because girls are always commenting on my videos. They're like, girl, I would be stuttering if I was standing next to him. I'm like, okay, I don't even look at it like that. But yeah.
I wouldn't look at it like that personally. It's for me, it would be more like I just don't know what to say or like how to connect in the same way. Like
make them comfortable too.
Yeah. It's Okay, so Fashion Week, this event introduced you to everyone.
And this other guy.
This other guy that was super funny, yeah.
No, he was not super funny. He was
or the director?
Yeah, the director.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, no, he's just funny to me now because I thought he was like legit,
Sure.
And he
this
wasn't.
This is such an LA story.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
But it makes me laugh more because he's honestly gave me the opportunity to go into boxing in this weird way.
Oh my God,
and
amazing.
He kind of a little bit opened the door for me to be a host in this weird way of like, he said he was a photographer too, and he is a manager. He was trying to wear all the hats, y'all.
This is also kind of like a serial killer story.
No, Melinda, I went to his house. And that's why I always tell everybody, I'm like,
by yourself?
Yes. I'm like, thank you, God.
Baby
like,
Aliyah.
I know. I didn't even tell my mom. Now when I tell my sister and I show her the picture, she's like, Aliyah. Like, they're so scared for me. But guys, I'm so much more safe now.
No, there's no judgment. There's no shame. There's so many people that come to LA and they're vulnerable and they're, like, there's no shame or judgment, but like, what is it called? PSA. Do not go to the house of somebody who says they're a photographer or director.
Do not do that. That's why I'm like,
absolutely not.
That's why I'm so thankful that he was not who he was.
Too.
But I went, we did a photo shoot in his house, and then
wow, you have literally lived like the LA story.
I know when I'm here, so that's why I'm like, you guys. Yeah, a lot of crazy LA stories. That's why I'm like,
and you've been here 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years, yeah.
But you're a baby, right? You're 20.
How old do you think I am?
24?
23. 23.
Okay.
I'm trying to live in this 23
Damn, you're
moment.
such a baby.
Oh, that makes me feel so happy because I'm already feel like I'm about to be 25.
No.
Like, oh.
And also, like, if I may, unsolicited, not advice,
Let's
but
hear it.
As a 33-year-old, it just keeps getting better.
See, that's what I believe. That's what I believe.
I feel better in my skin. I trust myself more. You get more conscious and you get more in tune with yourself. I think if you're doing it right?
That part.
And it's not easy. It's like I'm still like, have my hellish moments. It's not like life all of a sudden gets easy, but I do think that it gets better.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
No, and I love looking at people like you and like other women that I looked up to in their 30s, and I'm like, see, it's only gonna keep getting better and better. I think just like all in all,
and definitely for you.
Because I feel like the early 20s, I'm like trying to figure out so much right now. Like I'm almost like this is.
And you are so centered. Again, like I don't want to talk like I know you so well, but like what I get from you and your energy is like I just feel like you're so centered. You are grounded and you are down to earth and you are like, you don't strike me as the type of person where anything would be below you or, like you have the kind of energy that I think makes it. And
thank you.
Yeah, my God, of course.
Guys, she's so sweet.
Well, there's a reason I want to work with you.
No, you're literally so sweet. I appreciate that.
Okay, so wild. I can't believe that at the same event is what got you into sports hosting, which has been the most of your career in LA, and then also introduced you to Natasha, which got you literally here at the moment.
So many things. So that guy, the director, I tell you guys that I walked into his house, that guy, as I'm leaving, he's like, my friend's trying to like start this outlet. Like it's called Hollywood News Center. Do you talk? Like, are you a good talker? And I'm like, yeah, well, like I was like growing up, I did pageants and I was my junior and senior class president. So like I've always gave speeches.
Of course you were class presidents. I love that for you.
So I was like, yeah, I could do that. So he was like, okay, your audition's tomorrow on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm going to give you this whole script. Like you have to do it.
Welcome to LA, baby.
Yeah. And I'm like so excited now. I'm like studying in my room, but it was like, I'm so thankful that I kind of got thrown into the hosting world in a hard way of like having to remember like 12-page scripts and all this. Cause once I actually booked my first job for LA TV Network, which I'm so thankful for them. I'm still with them right now. They really helped develop me. But I realized most places have a teleprompter, or just there's different ways of doing things once you get bigger. But I learned in the hard way of like memorization and all
Damn,
these
no,
things.
we
So-
love a teleprompter.
Right, I mean, exactly.
We love a
Exactly.
teleprompter. You can't speak naturally when it's memorized, I don't think.
No,
Well,
I'm
you
like,
can, but it's a lot harder.
oh, it's so hard.
It's a lot harder.
It's so hard. So yeah, he threw me out there, and it was so funny because like my parents' like best friends end up being on a Hollywood Boulevard, like walking past me as I'm doing this audition. I'm like,
They didn't know you were there?
no, they didn't know I didn't know they were there either. I was like,
The hell?
it was just such a great moment. But yeah, that was like my
You need
my
a
little
reality
start.
TV show.
Stop. Girl, I almost had one with boxing. I've had a crazy line
Wow.
last year. No, it was
Well, it
was
seems like you've been doing
crazy.
so well with the hosting in that space that it makes sense, especially because it's kind of niche. Like, I know it's big, but it's niche because it's like one sport, right? So it's like once you get known, you're known, right?
Exactly. So yeah, so then after that, he invited me to a magazine cover launch, and I went. This is the event I said that it kind of changed everything for me, but it ended up being for Oscar De La Hoya, which he's a huge world champion. He has his own boxing promotion. Like he's Olympian too. So that's the guy that I said that's actually framed in my grandpa's sports bar. So it was like such a full circle moment.
Wow.
And I was just there to build my demo reel with that guy. I was trying to like get my name out there, try to build something. And then somebody came up to me, and it was so great because I actually just met him recently, and I told him, I was like, you're part of my story. I talk about you all the time, and I'm so happy to finally meet you. Because it was just like 4 years ago, this guy came up to me after the red carpet and was like, you're really good. Like, I think you'll be really great for my friend's boxing outlet. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. So he gave me his friend's like contact. I saw they had like a big boxing outlet. I reached out to him, and he was like, send me your sports reel. And I was like, I do not have a sports reel. I was like, I have nothing.
You're like, Jason, put on a football uniform and go in the backyard. I'm going to interview you.
Like, I need something. I was like, I know I don't have anything, but believe me, I could do it. Like, I could come in, I could show you, like, just like, believe me. And at that time, I just booked my first job with LATV Network. So I really was like starting to become a TV host, which was crazy. Like that didn't even happen. And even that story with LATV that was by far like the most life-changing thing. Like I went to an audition, and I wasn't even going to go because I got the little alert they wanted me to come for in-person callbacks. And it was for a Latin network, and I don't speak Spanish. So I'm like, they're not going to pick me.
You and me both. What's wrong with our parents?
Dude, literally.
Because your parents, I'm assuming, speak Spanish.
Well, no, that's what's...
Oh, they do not?
No, I was just saying that actually to somebody, my friend last night, is my dad's Mexican and my mom's white. So my dad, his mom passed away when he was pretty young, like 19, and then his dad wasn't in his life. So I didn't grow up having my Mexican side of the grandparents. I
I are very similar.
Really?
Because I'm half Cuban, half white. And my dad came over from Cuba. His dad never made it from Cuba. His mom did, but they had a tough relation. Long story short, the Cuban culture wasn't a huge part of my upbringing until I became a teenager and decided I wanted to embrace it and learn about it and like go to Cuba and ask my dad and all the things. And I mean, I grew up in his Cuban restaurant, so that helped. But yeah, very similar. Like,
I love that.
Kind of came into it a little bit more later in life, but I don't speak Spanish either, and I wish I did.
No, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm like, I don't want to be a no sabo kid. Everybody gives me a hard time for it too.
I know.
And everybody just keeps telling me too.
Some people are haters. Like, I could be projecting a little bit, but sometimes I feel like people don't like, I'm the first Latina Sephora Beauty Director.
Wow.
Sometimes people don't like that I don't speak Spanish.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
Being the representative of the community in like a title like that. And
it hurts me though, just because I'm like, it's not my fault that I didn't get to grow up with that side of my family. Like I would love to be like so much richer
and
in my
you love
culture.
it, and you want to embrace it, and you want to learn about it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. But that's why I think it's great, like at the age we are, and like you were saying, even in your teens, of like you really get to choose of like, I'm going to discover this part of you more. And I still feel that. Like I feel like I need to go to Mexico, and like I want to do that at some point and just really get way more immersed with my culture. But that's why I'm so thankful for the network I'm at now.
Yeah.
They're now Latin Nation Media, but I've been with them, since I've been 20 years old. So
cool.
They've really developed me and have believed in me. That's why I'm like always so thankful. So I had a show with them for 3 years called Get It Girl. and it was like a
Yes.
woman empowerment talk show.
Didn't Natasha come on it?
She did.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh, there's a clip of me and Natasha. I'm screaming, if he wanted to, he would. Which, you guys, that's true. and Natasha says, exactly.
Tis true.
Yeah, so that was really fun. And then now I host a sports show for them called Ganadoras. It's like around like women's sports. So that's been great because obviously I'm in boxing now.
Right.
So it's a very male dominated sport. So I feel like I really only get to mostly talk to the male athletes. I get so happy when I get an interview like a woman boxer, but mostly the fights are like men. So it's been really nice for me to be able to focus back on like women, but in the sports sense, and like highlight all the great things that they're doing. Cause I feel like they definitely don't get as much light or recognition as like the men's sports. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, fair enough.
Really, why?
I want to ask you about that actually, about working in such a male dominated space and being, how tall are you?
5 foot. I like to say 5'1".
I'm 5'3" and I like to say 5'3.5". I'm like being a little woman, beautiful woman with such a big personality and so much confidence. And so I know you can stand on your own. I've seen your content, but like, what is it like to be in such a male dominated space? And like, truly, I'm asking this question out of curiosity because for over a decade, my career has been solely with women and gays.
See, but I love that. That's why I told you.
Oh, it's my dream. It's what I did it on purpose.
Like, my dream is to have a gay best friend. I'm like, please. But I'm like, I just feel like I would love to work with like women and
you're around a lot of male energy.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Like, I really want to start transitioning more, even like to the beauty space, and even like if I do like more behind the scenes, really whatever. I don't really care. Like, I just like
working with
people.
more women.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's been so rough. Of like, that's definitely
really.
Yeah, and then what's even sadder to me about working in a male dominated space is how unsupportive women are to you. Like, that's what I don't get. Of like, to me, I'm like, guys, there's only 5 of us. There's like literally hundreds of men in here. There's like maybe 5 of us. And even at the last event, I think it was me and one other girl. Like, sometimes I'm the only one. At the last press conference, it was just me.
Yeah.
As far as like women in there. But it just hurts because I thought like, there's so few of us. Like, they're going to be like, let me help you. Like, we need more women in here. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I'm trying to give people opportunities.
Absolutely.
And my videographer's a woman. My editor's a woman.
Well, and
like,
this is why I see, like, your kind of, when I was saying your kind of energy is the type of energy that makes it, is because you have that kind of mentality. Because I've seen it over the last, 11 years working at Sephora with so many brand founders and content creators and stuff. The ones that really authentically try and help each other and lift each other up are the ones that I think experience the most longevity.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, no, I always believe that too. I'm just going to keep my heart good, even if all of that's like that. But no, obviously it's hard because I'm constantly being sexualized in a male dominated space. And I get criticized on the internet too all the time. Like, I could be sitting this far apart and all of the comments will still be like, they slept together afterwards. Like, just so mean. Or it's like, I come in with like all my questions. I do so much research. Like, I'll talk to my dad about it. Like, one time I was like so upset about it, but I was happy because the guys will always be commenting or saying like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, all this stuff. Like, I just have no idea in the world what I'm talking about. But it's funny to me because like, I'll hear what the other men reporters are asking the boxers. And one time, me and the guy, literally, he had the same questions as me, which would suck because it's like we have the same questions. Yeah. But I was so happy because I'm like,
this
I'm doing
proof.
it. Like, yeah, this is proof. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. We're going to get the same story on my end that you're going to get on his, but it's going to be a different flair because they give me different answers as a woman, obviously, and they probably just open up a little bit more. They feel more comfortable with me, but I was just happy because I'm like, see, I do know what I'm talking about, you guys.
You know what? We do everything better.
No, literally. But it's crazy because that's really what allowed my career to go so far. And this is what given me like live broadcast deals. And I've been able to go to Saudi Arabia and England and travel the world with boxing. But it's really like I got hired for a job because somebody said they found me on TikTok and they're like, I just love the side you bring out of the fighters. Like, you just bring out like this comfortable side of them. They're being goofy. They're not like trying to be all hard, which they're always like that.
Well, that's that feminine energy.
Yeah.
Like, it's that more nurturing, comfortable,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
so
I
that,
think a man could do that, but I don't know. When I talk about like feminine or masculine energy, it's not even about like what sex you are. It's literally like about the essence of that energy,
it is, it's the energy.
I also wanted to ask you if you want to go here, or it's totally up to you, but I've seen you talk about it on your social media, your journey with Crohn's and just how heavy that is. Do you want to talk about that? Because I can cut this out.
No, I can totally talk about
Okay.
it.
Because I saw you've posted about
Yeah,
it
I'm
on
saying, I'm
social
like,
media and stuff.
yeah.
And I just feel like you have so much on your plate. You're juggling literally multiple industries and trying to build. Like you're in that hustle. Having that as like a chronic illness must be so consuming. And I know, there's been a couple times where you've texted me and you've been unwell or you've had to take like a shot or something that's made you feel unwell. I guess where are you at with that now, and how do you navigate that with the type of career that you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm like, honestly, it is like really hard, and I feel like it's still something like hard for me to talk about. But
I
I'm
bet.
learning to be like, I want to be more. That's why I try to post about it because I'm like,
I really appreciate that you posted about it. And I bet you there's a lot of people out there who experience something similar or the same thing that you're going to make a big change for by sharing it. So as long as it feels comfortable to you to share, I think that's probably one of the best things you can do.
well, yeah, that's what I think. And I'm just like, there's no way that I'm a Christian, so I always believe that. But I'm like, there's no way that God put this in me and had this happen to me for me to not share my testimony and my story. So I'm like, see, but it makes me emotional every time I talk about my Crohn's, you guys, because I just had surgery this year.
Yeah.
And it was like
really intense.
Yeah, really intense. I'm still healing and it's changed my life a lot, but yeah, honestly, that's why I'm trying to like be better about my stress and all that, because like a lot of like autoimmune diseases and mine especially, like my doctors tell me all the time, like you need to learn how to manage your stress better, which I think that I am. But of course, like that's why I was saying of this industry so like up and down. So I think that part's hard. Like I go through like really good moments and then I lose my job and I have nothing, or I'm getting like so much hate on the internet, all this stuff that like obviously.
It's not like you're in a corporate salaried role where there's like stability and it's kind of the same throughout the year. Like you're like up and down, up and down,
always
up and down. Like what's next?
Or
what's
if I
coming?
get sick, like I don't have that possibility to get like paid time off or this and that. Like it's my own company.
Oh my God.
Like,
and the type of role that you're doing too, I know because being in front of the camera, like if you have like a studio day and you get sick, like that's an entire studio. Like that's so much stress on you
so
out
sad.
of your control.
The first time when I said I booked LA Network, it was our first studio day, which we film in bulk. So if you miss one day, you just missed 6 episodes. Like you just missed the entire season.
Yeah.
And I was fine. I was so excited. Like this was my first time ever going on a big set. I got so sick. I got in the hospital and I was still I was still telling my mom, the doctors, I was like telling the producer, I was like, I think maybe I can make it tomorrow. But it's because they had me like on morphine and just like crazy, like just pain medicine. So I was thinking in my head, like maybe, but no, it's like, I've had to sit out so many things because of my disease, which is really hard. But yeah, I'm like you said, I'm like, I know this is happening to me for a reason.
You're trusting.
Yeah, I'm trusting.
Well, this is what I mean when I say, like, I know that you're grounded and that you're centered with yourself. Because, like, I don't know, I've sensed your spirituality from you. And, like, I think also when you go through something like what you have to deal with, it matures you and, like, gives you life experience that like can't be taught.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I know. That's why
I think Brandon's getting you a tissue. I should have grabbed tissues.
You are way too sweet.
I have tissues somewhere, but we'll get you some.
See, but that's why thank you so much. That's
well,
why I'm learning.
I don't know why I didn't put we always have tissues there because like 1 out of 3 guests cry on this podcast.
So I'm saying, I'm like, no, like
it's not uncommon.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing though. I'm like, I feel like that's amazing that you could make people feel like that comfortable and all that, you know?
Yes, I do. It does, but you do the same thing on another level for the the players that you're interviewing. Like, imagine if you were interviewing more vulnerable people. Not to say that they're not all vulnerable, but the sport and the setting and everything isn't really a vulnerable setup.
Completely. Completely.
For those who don't know, can you tell us like what Crohn's disease is, like what the experience of having that is for you?
Yeah. So Crohn's is basically a autoimmune disease, a chronic illness. So I'll have it for the rest of my life. And autoimmune disease basically means like your body's attacking itself. It's like going against itself, which is so weird. Like when I learned about that, I was like, why isn't my body working together? But yeah for me, I'm thankful because I'm so happy I had the surgery because I literally feel like a brand new person.
Really?
Which is crazy. Like I was so against surgery and I was so scared of surgery, especially being so young. Like people were telling me just like scary stuff with scar tissue, just all these things. I'm like,
yeah, surgery's scary. Going under is
scary.
scary. All of
that.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh. But before I had my surgery, it was literally just like the most like painful feeling you could feel in your stomach. Like anytime I ate, I would throw up or I would get really sick. I stopped eating. Like I got all the way down to like 98 pounds this year, which is so unhealthy. Yeah. I literally couldn't even like look at myself. I was like, and then everybody kept commenting too.
Of course, yeah.
You look so skinny. Every time they see me, just have to tell me. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be like this. Like I was trying to eat and I wanted to eat.
This is why we don't comment on people's bodies, by the way. This is a great example.
No, like, literally.
And it's so hard not to because our society, we've been trained to. But I'm noticing a shift, at least here in LA and like in my circle. Like even my close friends, because when you're like really tight with someone, you might be like, you look like and it's like more. But like if you're just talking to someone and you're not really close to them, like I think people are slowly shifting out of that, I hope.
Yeah.
Because it just brings up so much. You just have no idea.
Yeah. So like the beginning of this year for like the first, until I had surgery, I had to go into emergency surgery in April. I was like the worst I've ever been. I'm just like, I literally started to be where I said I couldn't even keep food in my body. I couldn't even drink water. Like my stomach it was like literally screaming out to me that basically that it was in pain. But they showed me a picture of what my stomach looked like and it was like completely closed. So it was like, it makes sense that like things were able to pass, but it's basically just a bunch of inflammation. Mm-hmm. But with Crohn's, it's not just your stomach. So like I was having pain like everywhere, literally like my joints, like just when I would walk, when I would sit, like things you don't even want to talk about, just you're in pain about. And it's so awkward to tell somebody that, but yeah, literally is like your whole body's inflamed.
Oh my gosh.
So it's literally,
I don't understand how you've been functioning the last 4 years pre-surgery with that.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I literally was just like constantly living in pain. Honestly, I literally just got used to it, which is so crazy.
Your attitude like is so good.
Thank you.
Like you're so inspired and driven and like passionate about everything that you're doing regardless. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. I'm just saying I'm validating you and wanting to give you credit for, I think a lot of humans wouldn't be able to do that. Like it would be so defeating.
That's why I really try to share my story though, because I'm like, I don't want people to feel like a victim in what you're going through.
Yeah.
Like I'm still making my dreams come true. Yeah. Like even with this. And like obviously
hell yeah,
it's a lot harder and it's like you have to take a lot more days off. But I'm just like, I refuse to like let this be like a sad part of my story. Or like just like something that I just like sit at home and like I guess not boo-hoo about, but just like I know it's so easy to do that. And I do have my days. Like my family knows, my boyfriend knows. I'm just
if you didn't, I would be more concerned. Like if you didn't have your days where you were sad and saying it wasn't fair, I would be like, there's a lot of suppressed emotions.
Yeah, no, but I'm like, more than anything, I want to keep inspiring people to like, you could have these illnesses. Like literally, like I told you, my girl, Selena Gomez is a great example of that. That's why I loved her documentary.
Oh, I didn't even put that together with like how much you love her.
Yes, and that's like a big, I mean, I've always loved her, but that's what's so crazy to me is like, then with her autoimmune disease, that helped me get through mine a lot more of like, just like
I know her. She's amazing.
Yeah, her documentary was like so helpful because I'm like, see, like I go through all these.
Oh, we found them. Thank you, Brandon.
You guys, this is like, well, I feel like too. That's why I'm trying to be better about talking about it. Is because I feel like when I still do talk about my disease, or when people even like in boxing recently, they obviously all were so upset and sad for me. But when I came back, they were all asking me questions. And it's like, when I talk about it, I still cry because it's just still really raw at the moment.
Understandably,
So
yeah.
that's why I'm like, I want to get better about talking about it, where I could eventually
But
like
this-
talk on a stage about it. And
But why
not,
is this not better? Because you showing this emotion, I just think offers viewers and listeners more vulnerability from you and makes you even more real and relatable, because those who are experiencing this are experiencing that too. But you're still sitting here even though you're experiencing that. And that's what's inspiring. You're not past a finish line that's imaginary, because there is no finish line. You're sharing your vulnerability while you're in it. And I think that's what the world needs more of, is people who are willing to sit here and cry, but do it and share it, and not say like, "Oh, I've already figured out how to not do this anymore, and let me tell you how." But instead say, "I'm figuring this out, and I probably always will be, but I'm still doing the damn thing." I think that's a hell of a lot more inspiring.
Melinda. Melinda. I'm like, yes, I second that.
It is. It
Thank you
is.
so much.
Because that's what I connect to. And I can't tell you how many times I've cried on stage on a panel. And I mean, of course, we don't want to be like crying to the point where we can't talk. Yeah. That would be kind of counterproductive. But yeah. But I think it's just so authentic, and you're just like sharing yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've cried on stage at least like 2 or 3 times I can think of in the last couple of years. So
No, I give it to you. About what though? Like, what are the things that really pull at your heart when you're talking
for me,
about
it's
it?
usually talking about my mental health. Like when I started to get really open about like I call it my mental health like breakdown, but also my spiritual awakening that happened during the pandemic. And I got to a place where I was not, I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to be here anymore, and if I could ever be happy again or find any joy. And that was really hard to talk about when I first started to share that. I've cried talking about my mom, because I lost my mom to cancer when I was 17 or 18.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's strange. It's been so many years, but occasionally when I bring it up, I will cry. And I just never know when. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, usually like my mental health journey or my mom will get me. And sometimes it's happy things too. Sometimes I'll cry like talking about my sisters on stage or something like that.
Yeah, no,
or
totally.
someone who like impacted my career or my life, and I'm sharing that story. Like it can be happy or sad tears, but
That's true. That I have a lot of happy tears too. Like that's why I feel like when I'm talking about my dreams, and usually when I talk about my LA TV story, it always makes me like get emotional in a good way, because I'm just like so happy and thankful feelings.
Emotions are interesting, aren't they? Because they can really be. There's such duality to them. Where, I mean, duality. Even like science-wise, I think like they say that laughing and crying is like essentially the same reaction. That's why a lot of people, I think sometimes like something sad will happen and they'll like crack up. Like it's like almost like a very similar release for our bodies.
That's
and
literally
they're
me.
the opposite sides of the spectrum. It's just so interesting. Like
No, that is, yeah.
Brandon making us look good. Thank you.
I freaking love you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, just want to reiterate how much I appreciate you sharing. I just feel like you have so much to offer people, and so I'm really rooting for you.
Thank you.
Not that you need me to, like you're already doing the damn thing.
Well, I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
That means so much to me.
No, of course. I think, and it's also just, it's really fun as you get further into your career. I think not just fun, but important to have friends and networks like multi-generational. Like I think you should always have a community around you who is younger and older, because we all like will continue to learn from each other. And I love like seeing you, like our friend Tori, like who are like in their early mid 20s and they're just like doing the damn thing, but they have, I don't know, I feel like you have like a different energy to it, and like you're already being so vulnerable at such an early stage, which Tori is so good at too. And like I'm just excited. I'm excited for the next generations, and yeah, we gotta stick to our older generations too and make sure they don't get stuck.
Yeah.
Including myself. That's why I'm like, I always want to have like, multi-generation around me. But okay, so you're doing a little bit better, but it's still something that you have to deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's like just a part of my everyday life. Like they switched my medicine when I got out of surgery, when I told you like a month or two ago, and
Yeah.
I literally had the worst side effects. It was everything I was going through before surgery all again,
All came
but
back.
even worse. So I'm finally, this is like for the last 3 weeks, I'm finally good again.
I
So,
mean, this experience is something that, yeah, it'll really rock your spirituality even.
yeah.
Like your centeredness, and I just feel like you seem to hold so strong to it. And I know you said you have the days where you're just like, why me? And that's so understandable. What do you do when you're having those days? Like maybe there's someone out there who's experiencing something similar, something chronic. What can you do for yourself when you're having those days when you feel like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel?
That's a great question. Honestly, I'm still like learning that.
Of course, yeah.
But I actually did start therapy recently because I've heard like
love
you and so many
that.
other people talk about it, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I need to give it a chance.
It's
And
life-changing.
yeah, and I'm like, I remember my small group leader told me like in high school before, like we literally all need therapy, and I'm like that part of like every single one of us has something or like that we're trying to work towards or something that happened to us, and so I'm like, why not just like give it a chance, honestly? So I've only went a couple times so far, but I really like it. And I think like I'm getting
Yay!
used to talking to someone more, and I think too for me, I don't know, because like I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I have not honestly been the best when I had those days, and like that's what I've been telling the therapist. Of like, she was like,
But I
you need
also
to go
love that you're
outside.
sharing that. I also love that you're sharing that because like that's real.
Yeah, no, so it's like sometimes I feel just so depressed. Like I like just stay in my house all day, and I'm just like,
Can't get yourself to even like go in your
no,
backyard.
I don't
or
want
go,
to. I'm just like not feeling, and it's so hard having like a job like this of like I
Oh
need
my
to
God,
show up,
yeah.
I need to be high energy, I need to be happy, and I'm like not feeling that way at all. So yeah, I'm like I think talking with people is always good. Like I really lean on my mom. I really lean on my boyfriend too. So I think that always helps, and I think that's the kind of the same thing with therapy of like, you know, you don't have to carry this all on your own. Like I think community and having people helps so much, and I've always believed that. So yeah, that for me. And then of course, like I said, because I am Christian, I do like pray a lot, and I lean on Jesus, and that's what helps me like more than
Good.
anything, and like just helps me make sense of what I'm going through and understand, like I said, that it's for a greater purpose and it's to share my testimony. So at least makes me feel like, I don't know, there's some good in this instead of just feeling like, why is my body attacking me?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up, did you feel like you had a place to set your emotions?
That's a good question. I feel like
Were your parents vulnerable with their emotions? Did you talk about your feelings growing up in your family?
I feel like yes and no in a sense of like I feel like my parents are really like supportive and then my mom, yeah, like when I don't feel like I really talk to my dad about a lot of things, just like obviously just as a girl, like the issues we go through are totally different. Not that I couldn't, him and I still do have deep conversations, but not like me and my mom. But I feel like my parents weren't like the most open with their emotions.
Yeah.
And I feel like my mom always is like probably the typical mom, like always trying to keep it together, be the strong one of the family, like not really super like vulnerable with her emotions. I feel like it was more like my grandma that I feel like I'm like super close with in that sense. But yeah, I feel like I'm still like learning that how to be more.
Well, it's hard because I think so many of us were raised in an environment, and this is not our parents' fault. It's, each generation we try and do a little bit better. It's just how they were raised. But I think a lot of us were raised in an environment where there wasn't really a place to always set down our emotions, or even if there was, like to your point or in your case, you could set them down somewhere, but you didn't have an example of someone else doing that. So it's almost like, oh, should I be sharing this much, or should I keep it all together and like put on a. So it's really cool to see that you're kind of unraveling that
Oh
in
yeah.
your family lineage.
Oh yeah.
And you're the first, it sounds like in a big way, you're the first one to be like, hey, here's my vulnerability.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in such an out and open, like you might be the cycle breaker of that lineage, which is so cool.
No, I didn't realize until I moved to LA and like was actually away from like my family and my sister and all that of that's exactly what I was doing of more of just like suppressing my emotions of my family actually didn't have any idea of like I would go about my day, like things would happen and then at nighttime I would just like literally just when I'm trying to go to sleep, like just go through like the worst cycle, just break down honestly of like
Yeah.
why did you do this? Why did you just like honestly so many like negative mental things that I would do to just like suppress my emotions and like I guess look perfect to everybody of just like my friends and family. I don't think I really liked like my mom or like my sister or like people knowing that I wasn't okay.
Right.
Like it makes me feel better for them to think that I was okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I really moved here and was like, whoa, like you have a lot of things you need to work through. Like I was really bad with like negative self-talk and I don't know where that came from, but it was just like I'm like I'm gonna be so
everywhere.
nice to everybody, but I'm gonna like beat myself up at the end of every single day. Like that's crazy. So I really try to focus on like what I'm telling myself, and I've seen I feel like my life has changed so much ever since I started being nice to myself. Like even in
Girl,
my
keep
like
doing it.
appearance, honestly, if
Yeah.
I was so
You glow
mean
different.
to myself. Like yeah, like everything, or even like I feel
Same
like I
here.
was trying to like lose weight so bad in high school and all this stuff, and I just like couldn't lose weight, which one, now I understand it's like was my Crohn's, like that's a big part of it. But two was like I was literally so mean to myself. I was like, you
Yeah.
were never ever going to like be who you want it to be with like having that type of mentality and thinking all this ways about myself. Like I really start studying like your subconscious mind, and I realized, oh my gosh, there's so many things stored in there. Of like I'm literally telling myself I'm whatever ugly and fat all the time. Of like you really don't think that you're gonna start believing that, even if you just think like you're not actually telling yourself that, but like you are.
Oh,
Like
it's
you're thinking
inevitable.
that.
Like
You,
words hold power, even if
yeah.
they're in your head. Like affirmations, there's science behind affirmations, and you can look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're beautiful every day. And you might not believe it at all, but if you continue that practice, science has shown that it helps.
Oh, it so does.
Yeah,
It so
and it
does.
works the opposite way. And I really resonate with what you're saying. I think probably, I know every woman definitely does, and probably every human probably does experience that, because it's our society is just set up to like tear ourselves down. And it's interesting because because of Crohn's, you've been forced to recognize how that actually can impact your physical health. And this is why it's so fun. Like, it's not funny. It's ridiculous that it's taken so long for people to realize that mental health and physical health are so closely connected.
That's what's crazy.
So it's like the more you're healing this in yourself and this negative self-talk and the stress and like all the things, and you're just coming to peace and acceptance and love with your authentic self, the more you're helping your physical body.
That's what's crazy, Melinda. And it's like literally like now that I'm so aware of my thoughts and everything, I realize I'm like, I could feel when I'm like stressing out. Like it's almost like I wasn't even aware of it before. Like I said, I was just beating myself up in my head, and I'm like, what do you think that's doing to your stomach and like
Yeah.
to your actual being? You're causing like so much stress and inflammation, like all these things. And now I'm like, I feel myself when like I'm stressing out too much. If I'm like, okay, like you need to just like take a second, like breathe. It's not that big, because I don't want that to do that to my stomach, and then I get a flare up and I'm in the hospital. So like, yeah, like you're saying, I have to be like so aware of it. So it's almost a blessing in that way of like learning so much about like my thoughts and my stress. And like, yeah, I do feel overall like so much more peaceful. Or even like my sister, I love her to death, but she knows it. Like she has really bad anxiety, and she like freaks out, like literally freaks out. Like she scheduled her flight wrong a couple months ago when she went to visit me. She thought it was she was supposed to leave on Monday, but she was supposed to be back home on Sunday. So she was stressed out with work, and just seeing how she just dealt with that. I was like, I would be in the hospital right now if I if I allowed myself to get like that. But
see, this is why when you're talking to me and you're sharing your story and you're talking about your family and what you've been through, and this is why I see you as such a cycle breaker. And it's interesting because I consider myself a cycle breaker in my family. When you talk about generational trauma, I get a little bit woo-woo sometimes. And I really do believe that energy is passed down through generations. And I think that there's a lot of unpeeling of the onion, of the layers of the onion that each generation has to do. And usually with each one, there's one person that is a little bit more of like endures a little bit more, breaks through a little bit more, usually is forced to. And it's very interesting because Brandon is one in their family.
Brandon.
I see you as one in your family. I see myself as, and I feel like the people that are attracted to me or I am attracted to are the one in their family.
Yes.
I don't know what, like all of my friends, I feel like all of my really close friends, like I feel like they're the cycle breaker in their generational trauma and that generational energy. And it's a really heavy job to hold on your shoulders. So I applaud you. I don't know what it means, you know, like in the spirituality sense, I don't know what it means to be that person or what it does, but I do, you know, they say, I don't know who they is. Some people say it's like you heal 7 generations behind you and 7 generations in front of you or something like that if you're a cycle breaker. To me, I just think about it like if you choose to have children or if I choose to have children, that means that I'm not passing that on to them and they don't have to endure what I see my family and what I have had to endure. And that in itself is so rewarding.
Oh, yeah. It's exactly that.
Or if you don't have to have children, because I don't know if I want to have children or not, I can pass that on to my nephews. I can pass that on to literally anyone in life. But you're very inspiring, Aliyah, and I'm honored to get to work with you, and I'm so excited to be alongside you as you step into whatever is next for you, whether it be beauty or sports or both, because hell, why not?
That's what I'm saying. Why not?
Absolutely. I'm so here for it. But thank you for all that you do for the Beauty Manifest. Thank you for all that you do for so many people out there who are watching you, who are inspired by you, including myself. And thank you again for being so vulnerable here. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. This was like such a needed conversation.
We've been wanting to have it, and I'm like, we're just going to do it. You know what? That makes sense. You and I would do this on camera.
Wait, that's hilarious, actually.
We would.
Yeah.
We would. I think the more, I'm just excited to get to know you more, and whether we're working together or, you know, we're just friends, whatever, like, I'm just excited to get to know you more because I think we're going to continue to see more parallels between us and our career journey as well. Like, listening to some of the things you said, I didn't want to, like, take up time and say, like, me too, but I've had a lot of, or not, maybe not a lot, but I've had some of the similar experiences that you were talking about. So we'll get more into it and so much more to come, but thank you.
Thank you.
And now you know very well the confessional moments.
Oh my gosh.
Did you think about it at all?
I kind of thought about it.
I was going to text you, but I never really tell guests. I just kind of, I'm like, okay, if you watch an episode, you know that I'm going to ask you what makes you feel the most vulnerable. Maybe I should tell them though to like be like, this is the one question you're going to be asked. I don't know.
Yeah.
I ride this podcast real willy-nilly, if you haven't noticed.
We like to catch people sometimes off the cuff because it's real vulnerable.
We like to catch people off the cuff because
vulnerable.
it's more vulnerable. Absolutely, Brandon. I keep forgetting. We've talked about putting a mic over with you. I feel like we should do that.
I know, I just threw out my voice.
Well, yeah, that would be great.
Well, I suggested it, but I wasn't sure if you actually wanted to or not.
I would chime in.
Because I feel like you
There are a few
do.
things I say, but
I feel like you do.
Yeah,
And
no, I feel like,
but I can't. But I
love
can't
it.
hear you when you do. That's why I repeat you. Yeah, we should do that. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow
that'd be fun.
if you want.
get me a mic.
I love an episode where there are tears. I don't like making people cry, but I do in a way because I think that if you can create a space that someone feels comfortable enough to shed some tears, it's a release for them, and it's an energy shift in you, and there's a deeper connection that happens. And I think we as a society think about tears and emotions as being negative and like, oh no, I'm gonna cry. And like Aliyah and I were talking about on the podcast, it's like trying to hold it together when you're like talking about the story. But the more that you can be vulnerable and share that, I think the better. So I just love this episode so much. I'm so excited for having Aliyah in my orbit and getting to, she's literally sitting right here with us as I'm filming this outro too. I love you. Uh, but no, truly, like I'm so excited for her career and what she has to offer so many people out there and how she can inspire. And it's just really exciting to meet people who are doing the work from a place of love, I guess. You know, like we're all hustling, we're trying to make our dreams come true, we're all trying to be successful or whatever it is. Everyone's trying to do something. But I think similar to how we look at beauty and how we use makeup and skincare and all of those things, what's most important is the source and what's pushing you in order to do those things. And I think Aliyah is a beautiful example of someone who is so centered, and she's pushed from her purpose and pushed from her love, self-love and love for others. And to me, that's where the longevity in a career and the success happens. For all of you out there, I love it when you DM me or comment or whatever and tell me what you want to hear us talk about. If there's guests that you want to hear from or you want to put someone up for potentially guesting, please tag them, like connect us. I'm so open to it. And as always, the things that I say at the end of the podcast, like subscribe and like and leave a comment and some love. And I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.